Can you heal yourself? Hey, I'm Lisa Thomas, your epigenetics energy healer. Can you heal yourself? This is the question I will answer as I also talk about some myths surrounding healing and transformation. First, please ask your questions in the comments. And if I don't answer your question during the live, I will go into the comments immediately after the live and I'll answer you directly. Everything that I do is about helping people to bring about their perceived barriers and to step into the life of abundance that is their divine right. The way that I do this is by creating opportunities for healing at the level of epigenetics, which is the expression of your DNA. And I will get into how that all works and what I mean by that in a minute. But before I do, I want you to notice that I said perceived. Did you notice that? Perceived barriers. And I said it like that because any barrier that you observe happening in your outer world or inner is, whether it be financial, relational, stuckness, or generational, right? Or that general feeling of lack, of scarcity, is your true reality. It is a false understanding of the universe because the true nature of the universe that exists is abundance. You may say to me, but Lisa, the ceiling on my income is real, or my lack of time is real. I experience every day this lack of time. I see, or you might say, I see it when I go to pay my bills, right? I see it when I get to the end of the day and I haven't accomplished everything I want to. I see it in my relationships when dysfunction and chaos, or dysfunction with and chaos in my daily norm. I hear you and I understand. I understand that is your reality. That lack or scarcity may be the only reality that you know. You may never have had the opportunity to experience anything else in a specific area of your life, but it being this way. And when you observe those patterns showing up on a daily basis, that solidifies the idea that what you are experiencing is very real. I get it. I don't deny that there are natural consequences that you experience, or these feelings, right, that are happening when you live outside of the truth of your divine right to abundance. However, my job, mission, and soul's purpose is to show you to step out of your perceived experience of lack and accept and enter into the true reality that is your divine right. I want to show you how to replace your experience of lack and scarcity with love, abundance, purpose. I do this through a very specific method of identifying, releasing, and replacing low energy, inherited emotions like fear, trauma experiences, and perfectionism, for example, that are showing up in your life as things like overwhelm, lack of confidence, procrastination, self sabotage, repeating negative cycles in your life, stuckness, chaos, low self worth, scarcity, and even unlovable. What differentiates, I can't even say it, what makes me different about what I do and how I help people escape these patterns versus, say, therapy or other forms of mind growth work, I would say, is the fundamental role that generational patterns have on your ability to transform your life. Therapy and mind growth work, and they are important work and pieces in the life of the transformational puzzle. But if you are trying to make changes and heal at the level of the mind and habit, right, without first changing the foundational generational imprint that has been placed on you, from decades before, or even hundreds and thousands of years, you are putting the cart before the horse. You are trying to build on a broken foundation, a weak foundation. Generational patterns live within you. They get passed down from, grandparents to parents to the child. These this is something that you inherit and are born with, the same way you inherit your eye color and your ability to sing. Inherited emotional DNA is exactly like it sounds. Emotional imprints and patterns that have been stored in your DNA and passed down from your ancestors. Emotional imprints can be both positive and negative. And just like natural selection, it is, we want to promote the positive and pass along, we want to promote the positive and pass that along while neutralizing the things that no longer work in our favor. Here is a quick example. If someone struggles with hoarding and they have a very cluttered home without, with too many things in it, right? They have a very hard time getting rid of things they no longer need. They become accustomed to it. So throwing something out can cause them to be, it can be extreme and even seemingly irritating, and an irritable anxiety that begins to surface very quickly. And when I work with someone like this, I can almost guarantee that there is an inherited imprint of an event where an ancestor did lose everything, or they had everything taken from them, which put them in a very bad state of lack, and they did not have what they needed. When that experience of the ancestor is passed down through the DNA, it is now being expressed in their descendant, you, or this individual who is trying to counteract that feeling of anxiety and create a feeling of safety and security by holding on to anything and everything possible, every item they can in their life, in their home, in their space around them. In this way, they are subconsciously trying to avoid repeating the experience their ancestor went through on a subconscious level. This inherited anxiety and fear of not having what they need is keeping them locked into a habit of hoarding, which is causing this outward negative experience. Does this make sense? So, the question we are talking about tonight is, can you heal yourself? You might say, can I heal myself? Can you personally remove these effects of emotional inherited DNA from your body and your life experiences? Or, or you might be asking yourself, is this a skill that is only available to the spiritually gifted people or people who have been chosen as healers? Is Lisa Thomas the only one who can neutralize this inherited emotional DNA that is causing my issues? I often have people tell me they don't feel like they are intuitive, or they feel they lack the connection to their higher self or the universe, or however they hear, people talk about it. Yeah. So first, I need you to understand that none of this matters. You do not need to be spiritual. You do not need to be intuitive. You do not need to have any special psychic abilities. Learning to heal yourself is 100% learnable from anyone that desires it. Now, like anything, there are going to be people who catch on more quickly or seem to have more of a natural ability, and there are going to be others who need to practice more. Isn't that the same in every aspect of life? But the bottom line is anyone can learn to identify, release, and replace any inherited emotion from any generation in their past that is negatively impacting their present life. And the more you practice, the more you build this skill of identifying, releasing, and replacing more quickly, your life begins to transform. And things you see in your life right now as big, solid, unmovable blocks to abundance begin to fall away miraculously. The coolest part is when you heal yourself, you also remove the pattern from the past and the future generations. This means that when you do the work on yourself, you won't pass it along to your children or grandchildren. Now then, the next question becomes, how do I do this? How do I learn this? What is involved? I know. Well, it's not something that I can teach you in 20 minutes. I have taught this process to hundreds of people. There are several steps, and each one builds upon the other. The first step is really fun because I teach people how to tap into your subconscious knowingness, as your subconscious knows what is true. Our subconscious knows the answers that our conscious mind wants to know. There are numerous ways to access the subconscious mind so that you can acquire that information that it knows. But I have a clear method to do that, to get the information that you need. The method that I teach allows people like you to tap in and access the answers you need instantaneously. No meditation required, no prep, you can do it. Once people learn and practice how to tap into their subconscious mind, they are ready for next steps, which involve asking the subconscious questions about the blocks they are experiencing and how emotional DNA is involved. Things that are identified during this stage are what generation the inherited pattern originated from and which side of the family is it from. You can find out the word, the description of the block, and identify where in the body it is located. Once those things are identified, I then instruct people how to release the inherited pattern and replace it with the opposite high vibration. So, for instance, if someone has a negative block that is identified as fear of standing out, that is showing up as fear of success, then once the block is removed, we would replace it with confidence or leadership or something else. This process is repeated for every inherited block that you want to transform. Once you learn this skill, You then have the power in your own hands to heal any of your inherited blocks. I love the sense of empowerment that people who learn this process acquire. They walk around like they have a secret superpower, and they do. And this new sense of confidence that allows them and allows more abundance to find them is really amazing. Instead of fretting when they notice an old pattern showing up, they go into healing mode and they release it. They don't live in it. No, I have heard, you know, the word miraculous used many, many times over the years. Like Bonnie in the UK, who, after learning this process last month in the masterclass, he let me know he wrote his entire training program for TV camera assistants that they can use. He was able to complete income. This is an income producing revenue stream. I am so excited for him. Mhm. Amazing. Then there is April, who, after the last master class, was able to release the struggles she had been having with her manuscript story. The storyline was just not flowing together. And while out on a walk, she completely wrote a new manuscript. So the answer to the question, right, can I heal myself, is 100% yes. And if this is a skill you know that you could benefit from and you want to learn it, I can teach it to you. This is what I do for you as you learn my within my epigenetic masterclass. I'm going to teach this for you. And the next one that I'm holding is coming up on April 8th. I will post a link below so you can get all the information and register. My previous masterclass that was held just a couple weeks ago completely sold out. So don't wait. I know a few of you were on the fence and then you weren't able to join. So this April 8th is for you. I am going to sign off and I'm going to head into the comments that but I wanted to ask you some important things before I go, and I would love for you to answer below. If you have had if you here we go. If you had this healing power in your own hands, who could you become? If you had this healing power in your own hands, what could you accomplish? What would your life look like if you had this healing power in your own hands? Yeah, please let me know what would be possible for you. And I'll let you know if it is possible. I'm sending you lots of love. Mhm.